From that day forward, looking at nature and walking the earth had a completely different feeling to me. The ground which I walked on and the temple where I rested were the very same places where I had done battle, and then came to be my final resting place over 300 years earlier. As we looked through the archives and read the history of the land, we were almost able to finish sentences in unison without even turning the pages. It was entertainment for the onlookers who came to hear the history of the land. But for my brothers and me, it was an outer-body experience and a reminder of deeds from a previous life. I can only wonder about how things play out in life and how I continue to return to some of the same places I had visited and left marks in the past. I often wonder what the purpose is of how souls are constantly being connected to play various roles and travel different paths, only to end up right back where they started from. There seems to be a divine plan which I follow solely on faith, and it is questioned only by the panic and distrust of my ego. The divine plan appears to be just that, and as a soldier of the light, it is my life's path to always follow without question. Being at the temple was like being in heaven on earth, when there was just silence. But now, I have moved to a more central location in the temple where I now interact with the outside world and have been bitten by the bug of temptation. I feel my meditation skills becoming weaker for the simple reason that my ego has caught up to the rest of me, and the ideas from my ego now flow like a waterfall. For me, it has now become a world with more curiosity and a sprinkle of defiance. I'm looking at everything I once saw, and a few new things, from a totally different state of mind. The things around me not only look and feel different as I try to enjoy them as I once did, but I now have desires to treat them differently than I once did. I even try praying to my spirit as I was so used to doing. But my brain has allowed the door of my ego to stay open, so even my prayers are now different. I have not become a bad or evil person. I have just become a man of words and choices, which breed a desire and curiosity to explore the ways of my ego. After all, this is now the age of free reign for both spirit and ego. It would be this type of new feeling that would fill my heart and brain with all types of new temptations, which carry my plan down a different road from what I had originally thought this lifetime was about. The levels of spiritual growth that we went through at the temple were set up in such a way so that each person would have to sacrifice a little more each time to get to a higher level. To sacrifice more, we would each have to be exposed to a little more, only to give it up as the lesson would progress. When I gave up my vow of silence to speak to others of flesh, I would then have the new pleasure of knowing a life without the power of my silent words. Just as I learned to know this pleasure, I would have to give it up to tell others of my experience. I was now experiencing a level which involved spending time with people from the outer walls in an attempt to bring them more knowledge from the Spirit. This level was considered to be the role of teacher and to lead by example. I was allowed to speak only of my own experiences when giving examples, so each person I spoke with was having questions about how my level of lessons could enhance his or her state of being. During this time, I would receive regular visits from a man who came to the temple to confess his desires, hear the word of the Spirit, and mainly defend his stance on life's issues. His main desire was to seek riches and power by means of the ego. He stated that he felt in his heart that money and power could be obtained and enjoyed only by cutting all ties with compassion and emotions toward others' needs. He also believed that the spirit made men weak and vulnerable to attack.
Wow, I really enjoyed this video. I can't wait to see what's next.